Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Austrian Grand Prix here in the beautiful Styrian Mountains, and this is also the scene of round 11 of the World Championship of ALR, and this is our second ever sprint event tonight as well. Then, so we have got it's not a race, it's a sprint, and then of course we got the main event, the race itself, and so we'll have qualifying, which will be 18 minutes, and we'll have 12 laps for the sprint, which will determine the grid then for the Austrian Grand Prix, which is 36 laps around here. So that is the itinerary. Itinerary or itinerary? I think it's itinerary, isn't it? Itinerary for tonight's event then here in Austria. And of course, this is our 8th Austrian Grand Prix here tonight, and of course we've had a couple of different race winners. We've had Emerson who's won it twice. We've had I think we also had Caesar, who I think he only raced a couple of races in gold, then, but he's also been on the winners circle as well. All-time lap record around here is a 1 minute 2, which 1 minute 2 7:07, which was set by Emerson back in season 5's qualifying. The lap record in the race trim is by German in season 6. Then, of course, German was back on the winning circle as well, wasn't he? A few races ago, but had a bit of a torrid time in the British Grand Prix, and this is how things stand after the British Grand Prix. And it is Boxtel who is the championship leader now. This is the first time he's at the gold championship, 1 point in front of Percy, who has had a pretty difficult couple of races now, and of course his championship lead, which was about I think it was about 21 points at one stage, has been eroded and now has lost the lead, unfortunately. Troy in third position, 9 points away from Boxtel, with Wouter in fourth position, 73 points now away from the top three. So this championship, we ain't even at half distance yet. That'll be at the end of the French Grand Prix next week. But we ain't even at half distance yet, so don't count anyone out just yet. But 73 points is quite a mammoth points tally already at this stage. German moved himself up into fifth position, then with Chaz having a very strong season. This is the first time we've seen Chaz very much right in the thick of things for a very long time, so that's really good to see for Chaz. Seventh position is Liam Yeo. I think Liam Yeo, this is his first race he is missing tonight. He didn't take the start last week, did he? Because he wasn't very well. But Liam Yeo, this is his first race that he's officially missing tonight, then, unfortunately. Ninth position is Sam Green. He's had a great race in start to 2023, hasn't he? He's up to ninth now after languishing in the relegation zone for so long. 11th position is Mr. Rage. A strong season for the Haas team. It's kind of started to dwindle off in the last few races, unfortunately. Glock on a very like Green. Glock's on a great start to 2023 as well. Markey in 14th, in 13th position, and Vesley in 14th, with Gamer down in 15th position. Alhan is 16th, Sonat is 17th, and in the relegation zone we've got Sweet Mumford and KD. In the Constructors' Championship, it is Alpha Tari leading the way with 29 points in front of the Aston Martin, who are second, and third is the McLaren. Of course, the McLaren are the defending Constructors' Champions. They've been the Constructors' Champions for the last 2 seasons now, haven't they? Not a 63-point gap back to the Haas team in fourth position. They're on 92 points, I should say, at the moment. As you can see, as we've got a very overcast Austrian Grand Prix here. Ferrari are in fifth position, 9 points away from the Haas. It's very tight, isn't it? Below the Haas team afterwards, with Red Bull 5 points away from the Ferrari team. Mercedes only 4 points away from the Red Bull team, with Williams in turn only 4 points away from the Mercedes, as is the Alfa Romeo. Good gracious me. Alpine, unfortunately, at the bottom of the pile at the moment in the constructors for gold. And of course, the joint constructors for gold, which adds all the championships, which is gold, silver, bronze, and of course the 100%, is looks like this. And Alpha Tower got a mammoth 276 point gap over second place Aston Martin at the moment. Goodness gracious me, it's going to be if AlphaTauri don't win the joint constructors, then that would be an incredible drop off. But 276 points in front of the rest of the joint constructors, absolutely redonkulous. points. Second position is the Aston Martin team. Then they're also 110 points in front of the Alpine in third position. Haas team are up into fourth and having a great season. The Haas team overall, I would say, brilliant stuff indeed. McLaren are in fifth, with Mercedes are in sixth at the moment. Ferrari are seventh with the Red Bull in eighth position. Ninth is the Williams team, and 20 points beyond the Williams team is Alfa Romeo, who having a pretty difficult season in majority of the Constructors' Championships, unfortunately, as a Ferrari is just trundling out of the pit lane. As yes, this is a short qualifying session, so this is not the usual. It's not the usual three-parter for qualifying. So we've got a lot of racing action then to come here tonight. And here is the former world champion German, of course, back in season 6. Of course, as I mentioned, he has got the race record around here, which he set. I think he set back in season 6. So I don't expect any lap records. I don't think any lap records have actually been broken this season, haven't they? Of course, with these new ground effect cars. I think Formula 1 was very much at the peak of their power, weren't they, in the F1 2020 and 2021 cars. I think that's also at 2021, with the 2021 cars as well. I do think that a lot of drivers really did peak, didn't they? Which was incredible to see. So 16 minutes in this qualifying session, as we mentioned, this is a sprint event tonight, and so a different part of the format. So this is qualifying. There's no qualifying 1, 2, or 3. This is the qualifying to set for the sprint, and then the sprint will set the grid for the race itself. Charles Palmer, is it that time of week? Indeed it is, my sir. Of course, ALR Gold then here tonight on a Sunday to hopefully brighten up those Sunday evening blues, which of course then as we all probably got to prepare for the week ahead, don't we? But however, hopefully ALR Gold will produce some light entertainment then. Or so just watching German there just power up into turn 3, which is technically turn 2 in my opinion, but never mind. That's just me being very pedantic. Glock, give me aero downforce. So I think the Glock is struggling for downforce at the moment. He isn't out of the pits just yet then, but of course remember that the drivers have probably had a few laps and lovely his helmet. I think that German's got a new helmet there, hasn't he? Fantastic. Of course, that's the most important part of a driver's repertoire, isn't it? There's our helmet design there. We got no debutant here tonight, but we do have Dylan returning back into the cockpit for the first time in a long time then. So this is his 4th start in ALR Gold. So good stuff there for Dylan to be a part of this, because I think he last raced last last season, didn't he? Dylan did for when he was a part of the HDE, apart from the HDE umbrella. Coming over the line then for German across the line at 04811 to set us on our journey. What about the second Ferrari? Mumford there, who is 5th fastest. Mumford got out qualifying one for the first time in Silverstone. He had a very good Silverstone qualifying. Unfortunately, when it all came a bit unravelled in the race, but of course, but I think that hopefully Mumford can bounce back then. Crash going 3rd fastest, Dylan has gone 4th fastest then, and Percy has quickly gone quicker than a German there, ever so slightly then, by a 10th of a second. Very close between German and Kush at the moment. But Mr. Rage has moved himself into 4th position. A lot of yellow flags out there. This looks like a short, simple circuit, but however, it is very difficult. The problem is that because it is I think it's the shortest circuit in terms of time on the calendar, and because of that, you cannot make any mistakes, and any mistakes is very much really shows, doesn't it, in your qualifying lap time. So it is a difficult qualifying session, as you don't really want to, as you don't of course want to make any mistakes. But boxed out a new championship leader. It's gone pole position so far for the sprint, of course, and that is pole position, I think, for the sprint. But that's how we do it anyway. But mainly because I don't think anyone else cares too much about who's got pole or whatnot, but I certainly do. Here comes Glock, as he was just mentioned earlier on. Give him some downforce. Hopefully he's found some downforce now. Lovely helmet design as well from Glock there. Fantastic. As we mentioned, Glock and Green have really been two of the outstanding candidates since we've gone into the new year of 2023. And here comes Glock now. Then, as we just got Troy moving himself up into 2nd position there. Good stuff indeed, but Milan making a return as well. I forgot to mention Milan. His 66 start tonight. He goes into 2nd fast. He's replacing Liam, and this is Milan's first race, I think, since the opening race in Bahrain, wasn't it, if I'm not very much mistaken. No, he did race in the, I think he raced in Imola as well, didn't he, for the sprint event. So Milan definitely knows about the sprint events, doesn't he? And he is second fastest amount Milan is. Of course, he has 13 pole positions, which I think is the second highest in ALR Gold. And certainly in the second highest in ALR Gold, isn't it? For 13. I think that Emerson has slightly more potential. I'll need to get out my stat book there, but yeah, Milan then first race in a while. And Gamer has joined the session. Welcome, Gamer. Of course, he's only got 12 minutes to sort himself out there, which might be a bit tight for time. Sweet going into 13 fastest, which means that Alhan has gone into 12 fastest. And Vesey in 11th at the moment is very tight, as I mentioned. One mistake. As well as talking of mistakes, if we got a McLaren having issues there, it's Dylan and has had issues into the final turn. Then it's very dull overhead, isn't it? At the moment, goodness gracious me! Just watching Green now navigate his way through the traffic. They're getting well out of the way at the moment. On board now with Green with the beautiful green helmet as well. Then I wonder if that's because it's last night. But talking of green, the track has been it's fairly green as well, but it will start to rubber up as this session unfolds. Here comes Green now into turn 10. Of course, there's only 9 turns in a Formula 1 car on this circuit. It's only 9 turns on the circuit, is there really, if you think about it. And Green now, a whisker behind his teammate. Look at that, 3,000 of a second separates the two Red Bull drivers. Fantastic. They're very much putting that Red Bull through its paces and on the limit and beyond. Fantastic. Sonat making his third start here tonight. He has really, since making his debut in Canada 2 weeks ago, he has really been impressive, hasn't he? In impeccable form. And he did finish 9th last time out, so he's scored in every single race he's participated in the Williams. And Williams would be very happy with this because they have really struggled, haven't they, in the beginning of the season? And so hopefully Sonat then can stabilise it. The second Williams, a Siege, I think is also driving tonight as well. Chaz out on circuit, as is Gamer. We've got Nosey, Good Luck Gold then, and Evening, or could get messy tonight with two races. Nope, one race and a sprint, I should say. Of course, don't call it a race, even though it is a race, isn't it? Really, to be fair. But there we go. Milan has retired in the pit lane, and into the pits comes a Green, then down into 11th position now with Sonat moving himself up into 8th then. So both Red Bulls are 10th and 11th. Remember, no tires, no qualifying tyre rules these days, is that you can do whatever you want. And talking of which, and there'll be no pit stops as well in the sprint race, which should be coming up in just under 10 minutes time. So do not go anywhere, folks. And we've got double the racing action tonight. So I hope you've all drank your coffee, because this is going to get very, as Sirman said, this could get very messy indeed. Back with Mumford at the moment, 3 DRS around here. There's a lot of opportunity to overtake as well, isn't it, around the Red Bull ring. Talking of the Red Bull ring, let's hope that the Red Bull drivers are going to do well tonight then. Of course, they have done well so far with KD in 10th position and Sam Green in them. KD, the only the full-time driver yet to score so far, but that's a very unfair statistic, because this is only KD's second start of the season. Mumford has found a 10th of a second in the second sprint time. You can see then on that shot there, doesn't it look like that Ferrari just completely went off the circuit there? And just going into turn 10 as well, as Milan, I think, is very surprised to hear that it is a sprint race. Yes, indeed it is, as one of the Alpines has had a issue. And who's that? That's Kirsten, who's just returning then, as I don't think Wooter's racing. I can't see him in there. Oh, and that's Gamer into the wall, and he is out of qualifying. He'll be 19th on the grid then for the sprint, and then that is going to be oh dear. And unfortunately for Gamer, he'll be 19th on the grid, and making a bad mistake then, unfortunately, and that is Gamer 19th in the second Aston Martin. His teammate Percy is trying to get out of the way at the moment, and it looks like he's doing a lot of harvesting there. German's going for a second by the chair as well. Chaz once again showing his pace this season has been pretty electric, and he's 6th in the World Championship, and he's also 6th on the grid at the moment. Fantastic. Glock back out on circuit as well. We've also got Dylan. Let's go on board with Dylan, shall we? He's only just started slap doing this, so we'll keep an eye on Dylan. But for the minute, well, who am I going with? Goodness me, come on, Ginger. Let's sort that out. That one buff out Gamer then. And yes, Serious Russian confirming that it is, instead of full qualifying, it is the sprint event. Just watching Glock, and he's taken too much curb. He hasn't gone to the barrier though, so good. A good save, I would say, for Glock. Then, of course, no damage to the Alfa Romeo, but down in 8th position there. Just a bit greedy on the curves there for Glock, and that is switched the car right around. But he now has got himself going again. Mr. Ragehead on the lap number. Let's go with Dylan in second split there. Just under a 10th of a second improvement. That would actually get him in front of both Red Bulls at the moment. And if he keeps up this pace then into turn 9 and 10, then we've got a bit of sunshine now bursting through the clouds. And of course, the reason why it is as Gamers Let's Play built his car on the track there. Dylan across the line going 11 fast indeed in front of the 2 Red Bulls. So very good indeed then for the McLaren then. Of course, the reason why it is so green around here, as Troy is fastest there, and a great time indeed, and that is pole position as Knowlesy is coming, and our Biggie has taken the Router's car. That's Router's second race in a row. He's not participating, unfortunately, but Troy has gone faster so far. Remember, he got his first pole position of his career last time out in Silverstone, I believe it was. So Troy going for 2 for 2 here, which would be really good indeed then. Siege has just popped himself up into 15th, made that 16th now as he's dropped down the order. Mumford's in the pits at the moment, and but he's in 18th for this one. There's Siege there, cutting a bit of grass there. Of course, a very good Formula 2 driver, Siege is, isn't he? As we did a couple of Formula 2 races last season, didn't we? Very impressive indeed, Siege was. I think it was a title, didn't we? 6 minutes ago in this qualifying session. As I was saying, and the reason why it's so green around here is because of how much rain happens in these mountains. As Boxtel just coming into turn 9 and 10. So are we expecting rain tonight? I would not. I would say it's almost the same, or maybe even more likely. As Boxtel goes fastest there, and my word, there it is. They've got a great battle for pole position at the moment. Then what has Percy got in his repertoire? And on board with the Aston Martin driver. Of course, Percy has lost in the championship. For the first time in a couple of rounds now. So let's see how it's going to change his psyche. He hasn't got much battery power though in the Aston Martin at the moment. So he didn't do. I'm not sure if he was doing a harvesting lap or whatnot, but it was not a good lap either. Then. As North is saying then that no raincast forced in any no raincast has been forecast in any race. Well, I'm absolutely shocked by that. Of course, when I think I mentioned in the 100% race then about Knowlesy not having a very good well, he's saying not on a very good record. That's very harsh to say indeed. As Alhang goes 40 fast. He was mentioning that KD has gone to a very fine 5th position. That's a great time indeed then for KD. Of course, I think that's a bit harsh to say that Knowles has got a harsh, difficult record around here. What he has got is probably the most unlucky record around here. Is Knowles was mentioning, and it's unfortunately for Kush, he does have a slow teammate. I don't think so in any sense of the word. Of course, because Knowles is a 3-time Grand Prix winner, of course, and he should probably be a 5-time Grand Prix winner. Really, shouldn't he? If you remember, we talked about how Milan, then of course, who is currently in 3rd fastest, we're doing a good job of it, but talk about Milan having perhaps a horrific history in the Dutch Grand Prix there. He did win it. He did win his race there in the end, but he should have probably won three times around there, really. But he had such bad luck, didn't he? And it's same with Knowlesy here, really. But Knowlesy didn't have any issues with a back marker or anything like that. He had issues with the rain gods, didn't he? Really, as it rained and completely ruined his strategy 2 seasons in a row, if I remember rightly. And so he should probably have had 2 race wins around here, unfortunately. And that Troy time lap is going to be difficult to beat, and Boxtel just about beat it there, didn't he? But he was very much on the limit and beyond. And just watching Kush going over the brow hill, I do love that shot. Then of course that shot is there's Gamer's tyre there, as Gamer said, it probably won't buff out across the line then. And Kush goes third fast. That's a great time for Kush, actually, very good time indeed. Then 3.5 minutes ago in this qualifying session. This is only the 18-minute qualifying session before we get onto the sprint race. as you can see German there with the beautiful Ferrari livery in the sunshine here in Austria. Fantastic, isn't it? Across the line, German goes. He's currently 7th fastest at the moment now. Gonna grab some beers here, as much as say. Nernley 0.3 up before that spin. Don't Droftas, don't spin then Glock. Brutal, I love it. 6 gear on the curb says this. 6 gear on the curb says differently, unfortunately for Glock. And these I do think that the curbs on this game is not as deadly as what they used to be in 2021. Or am I just remembering history wrong? Potentially, probably remembering history wrong. Really, German's got invalidated this time whilst I was reading it in the comments. And here comes Sonat in the Williams car out to the final turn. Alpine just behind us then, and Sonat does a 8. I think he was on wasn't he? So Siege is on a quick lap, and Siege then, who is first race this season, and look, we got 3 Roy down in the background there. They're all on outlaps, but my word, you would be forgiven to think that this is the actual sprint race there, as that Williams of Siege there, looking a bit dirty on the side pot there, so I think the Williams McKay is going to have to give that Williams a bit of a rub down, I reckon, before the start of the sprint. Of course, for any of you that is new to the sprint race then, we have 12 laps then, no pit stops are mandatory, so you have to think about what tyres is going to get you through the 12 laps then. I doubt we'll see these soft tyres, to be honest. I think it might be as that Red Bull is well in the way, and I think that I'm not sure who is that. I think that's KD. So KD up into the 6th position moment, but Siege is going to be absolutely furious with that, isn't he? As that is completely ruined his lap then, and Siege has come back into the pit lane then, and yes, indeed, and he's not going to be a happy chappy on that one. Unless I've misread that situation there, but I'm sure that he was on a lap though, Siege was. Dylan then, who's now coming into turn 13. He's currently, no Will isn't, he's currently 13th in turn 10, and we haven't got 13 turns around this court, and goes slightly quicker by just under a 10th of a second, but I think he's on an actual lap, isn't he? I think he is, and there's Mr. Rage just starting his lap as well. So then, I think that this is going to get very interesting with the final stage of this qualifying session then. We've got a Haas of Mr. Rage now starting this lap as well. We've got a Red Bull of, who is that? Is that Sam Green? It is Sam Green just getting himself ready to go. I think we've got less than a minute now, haven't we, this qualifying session. I'm trying to catch to see who is actually... Oh! Who is that? And that's Knowlesy there. I'm not sure if what's going on there, but he doesn't look like... I thought he damaged the car, to be honest, but I think he might have just been getting out of people's way. Troy is 2100 a second up then with just less than 30 seconds to go in this qualifying session, and I think as Troy done it, he has done it there. It's pole position by 1,000th of a second around here. Wow, incredible stuff indeed. He has time for one more run as well, does Troy, but could he have 2 for 2? It's like waiting for a bus, isn't it? Elverson 2 comes along at once then. Glock has gone into a superb 5th fastest at the moment. What about Boxed out across the line a 10th of a second quicker. I think that he's now going for his final run here in Austria. My golly gosh then. And we got Mumford just coming out the final turn, and Mumford I think has stayed 18th, hasn't he? Potentially here comes German. This is his final shot as well. And that's it now. Everyone then who and the Siege retired from the session down in the 70th position. Unfortunately, he did unfortunately get his first lap a bit blocked, didn't he? I think he blocked Siege, didn't he? Potentially then, or maybe Siege was on a outlap. I thought Siege was on the quick lap, to be honest. Green is also invalidated as well, and unfortunately Green's very good strong start to the session has come to naught there. And here comes Percy. He is 3rd fastest there. Magnificent time indeed there for Percy, and he has put himself up with his championship protagonist there. And that's exactly what he needs to do then. And we got the second AlphaTauri Vessi languishing down in 16th for the moment. The England improved again because Vessi unfortunately has invalidated his lap then. What about Sweet? Sweet is up into 9th position. That's a sweet time, isn't it? And Boxed out of the final turn, and what's Boxed out got? He hasn't got anything left in his repertoire, and he stays 2nd fastest. Troy is on pole position there for the second time in a week then. Fantastic. Mumford improves to 17th fastest there. What about German? German's off the circuit, and that is it for German, unfortunately. And goodness me, and Alhan also off the circuit as well, so it's going to be Troy on pole position then for the sprint race here. Wow, incredible stuff indeed then. And that is Troy's 2nd pole position in the second pole position for Troy in 2 weeks there, so magnificent stuff indeed then. And now then, Troy, as we mentioned then, we wait for waiting for one bus, and two comes along almost instantly. And so what's happening to Troy here tonight, as he's got his second pole position in his in like within in successive weeks. Fantastic stuff indeed there for Troy. So he'll be delighted with that. Fantastic stuff indeed there for Troy. And yes, he's now doubled his account then to two for his pole positions this season. Gurman had a lap for pole on the second run and validated it though, so Gurman a bit disappointed to be down in 8th position in the end by the looks of things. So that's a bit disappointing there for Gurman. But hopefully he can turn that around in the sprint event. Chaza on board now, but ended up in 10th position now. So that's good luck everyone. And also we've also got Serious Motion giving everyone a good luck as well. As Troy is still not happy with my commentary there, as he's got his both fingers in his ears. Sonat's time was also invalidated too, unfortunately. Then bottled P3 GG for Glock, who finished that session in 6th position. Now Glock did. Milan only did one run there, and he was 5th fastest. Milan was could have added to his 13 pole positions today, but maybe he was saving himself for the race then in that Haas car then. And of course, as we mentioned, the Haas has been a bit disappointing in the late stages here. KD great time in 7th position, and Sweet also outstanding as well. Then so those two drivers then very much picking up those cars there and really just giving it putting it by the scruff of the neck. Then that's what I was meant to say. So good times there from both Katie and Sweet. Then the newest members to the full-time grid of Gold here tonight. We have also got No Fighted at No Fighted. It's a friendly. Serious Rush saying us on that as bad day. Let's fight in the race then. So this is our sprint event now. Then this is only our second sprint event that we've ever held in Gold. Then and who won the last sprint event? Goodness gracious me! Hang on, let me get me old spreadsheet up, shall we? I think Boxtel finished second, didn't he? There's 8 points for the sprint event. It was Percy that won the last one with Boxtel second. So hopefully for Percy's sake, he needs to get himself back into the winner circle there and get his second sprint win of his career then. Yes, so it is the top 8 that gets points in for the sprint, rather than the top 3 that when the F1 first started this concept. It's everyone is on the medium compound tyres as we get away from the grid. And so this is going to get very interesting. And of course, I think that the hard tyres should go last for quite a while around here. So medium tyres is probably the most sensible thing to go here. They might. I don't think there'll be much drop off either here. So it's very much going to be. You probably do have to look after to a certain extent. But I think that I don't think the tyre wear should be too much of an issue in the sprint race. But then again, I have been wrong before. Troy pole position, his second pole position in 2 weeks, as I mentioned. First gets 8 points. Then Serious Much was said. Thank you very much. Yes, 8 points for the winner and 1 point for 8th position. And so from first to 8th, then gets points. And very much old school F1 in that fair. And if of course when they had the point system from first to 8th in 2003 to 2009, was it? It was before the top 10 then was able to score then. Of course, it was very difficult to score points back in yesteryear, wasn't it? There was only only the top 6 used to score points, didn't it? Way back when. Right, Troy on pole position, his second pole position of his career, and his second pole position of the week. Boxtel is alongside him on row 1. Boxtel leads the championship now. Let's see how that changes then. His psyche, same for Percy, who is third position then. Let's see how that goes as well. And of course, Percy, the winner of the first ever sprint event, so he'd like to get that. If he wins today with Boxtel second, they'll be all square on points then going into the race itself. Kush in fourth. I think that was unbeknownst to me then. That's a great time for Kush then. Goodness me though, he's tailgating Percy. Milan in 5th, Glock in 6th, KD, great performance in 7th position with German 8th. Both Mercedes share row 5 with Sweet ahead of Chaza. 11th position Sonat, 12th is Mr. Rage, Dylan in 13th. 14th position is Alhan with Green up down in 15th position. We've got Williams there facing the wrong way. Vesey in 16th position there. Troy's been disqualified. Mud 17th Siege in 18th position, and 19th position is Gamer. We sit and crash at the exit of turn 10 now, and Knowlesy is 20th on the grid then. 20 starters then, which will be going, which will be fighting out for 12 laps, and this is just a sprint race here, but there's still points on offer then, and the lights are up then, and here we go then, for a very fast and frantic Austrian sprint race here, and a good start there for Milan, who's up into 4th position already as we go into turn 1 there. Are they all behaving? It looks fine and dandy there. KD's up in 2 positions there, but you can see that they're swapping, fighting positions already, and there's a Ferrari on the grass there of German, who is trying to take a Glock then, on board then with the outside of Person, the 2 championship protagonists going head to head then at the opening stage of this race. Mr. Rage has dropped down 2 positions, same as Siege, who's also dropped down 2 positions unfortunately, but we're watching Percy, who is desperate to get past Boxtel quickly here, and he's really pushing, and look at that, the 2 tire rivals have come to blows in the sprint, and it's very difficult to go on the outside there. We've seen in the past, haven't we, about Hamilton and Albon there, and look at that, it's 3 going into the left-hander here, and look at that, Percy, and a nightmare, and his teammate has been spun around as well. It's a nightmare start for Percy here. That is not what he wants in this sprint race. Oh my goodness gracious me. Absolutely incredible there. Troy is set the fast lap there on the opening race, on the opening lap, of course. German is challenging Glock for 5th position, and he's at the inside. That's going to be contacting German there, has to go wide, and he's gone onto the concrete there. Luckily there's no gravel there these days, but however, and who is that? Was that someone off in the background now? I think it was Knowlesy that was off in the background there in the Alpine, and Katie on the outside into the hairpin of turn 3. He's been run wide there, and German getting his elbows out as well at this early stage there. And look at the queue of cars, and look in the background now, that's one of the Mercedes, it's the 2 Mercedes going head to head into turn 4, and up the inside goes Chaza, but Sweet is not having any, but the 2 Mercedes drivers fairly new to each other in terms of well, I think it's only their 3rd race together, isn't it? But Chaza trying to assert his authority and stays in 8th position with Sonat up to the top 10, but remember, it's only the top 8 that scores points at this moment now, as they're flying through the field as well. So the incident then between the incident and the major talking point at the moment is between Boxtel and between Percy. Percy is down in 16th position now, and this is a nightmare sprint now, isn't it, for Percy? Unfortunately, he's going to have to make his way back through the field on this one, but that is very different. That is very gutted indeed. Then look at Chaza has run out of turn 1 there. So he was on the outside, was he? Did he think did Boxtel give him a squeeze too much there, or did he even see him? Is the question then, or do you think, or is he entitled to space there going into on the outside of turn 4? Is the question, as that Haas car thought was going to have a almighty smash there, but Mr. Rage down 2 positions there. Percy is trying to come back through the field, but as Mr. Rage has completely misjudged his braking point now and gone right off into the gravel, and he's going to lose all kinds of momentum, and he does. He's down 18th position as well, with a Gamer in 19th and Knowles in 20th position. Well, now having a bit of a difficult start into this sprint race then. Lap 3 then, we're about a quarter of the way through this sprint then. No mandatory pit stops, of course, there as they come over the brow of the hill, then back on board with Sonat. He would like to he has scored points in every single race so far. Of course, this is not the race, this is the sprint, of course, but he would like to score points in every single session where you are racing, technically. I think he's 2 positions away at the moment, and Percy up the inside getting past Mumford, which is way back up into 13th position then. So yeah, that is going to be a major talking point, I think, in this one then, but it does depend on the race itself then. But Percy, of course, lost the lead last time out in Silverstone, has now got it all to do then in this one, and Boxtel is only he's only 2nd at the moment then, but he is extending his lead in the championship to 8 points at the moment, and Boxtel looking very strong at the moment, is there in the championship, and also looking strong in this event as well at this moment then. Chaza all over the back of KD. KD, of course, had a great qualifying now. KD is the only full-time driver not to score points at the moment then, but as I said in qualifying, that is a very unfair thing to say, really, because of course KD's only raced once or twice so far up to this one. 3-second penalty for Mumford there. As Sirius Mushroom saying that Milan doing a very good job there for the Haas team then. He is indeed, he's up in 4th position, Milan is. Milan, of course, a very strong Grand Prix winner in the past, Milan. This, as I said, he should probably have a lot more than just one race win, as Percy has moved his way up into 12th position now. Can he get some points? We ain't even at half distance yet in the sprint race, but he has got to score, he has got to pass at least another 4 drivers out, as Vesey has got past Mumford. There they are fighting in the background, and look at that then. So Vesey is through, when Percy up the inside there, very late then, and Alhan is sinning very late as well. They have a great racing, and look at this now, Green is on the outside here. Oh, he was, and I thought it was a bit further forward than that. Chaz has got past KD. KD is now only on 1 point here, as Percy up the inside. There's contact there, and he somehow does avoid spinning the car, and Green wants a piece of this action as well. However, then it's very difficult to overtake through there, isn't it? Unless, of course, you're Paulie Orange, who had some incredible overtakes there in the first ever season around here in Austria, season around here in Silver a couple of seasons ago. Fantastic that was. I can't remember who was fighting now. I think it was Lost Souls, wasn't it? There way back about those 5 seasons ago in Silver. One of my favourite all-time races that was. That's a Ferrari off, and it's Mumford who spun the car in turn 18, and he's dropped down to 17th position. As the McLaren of Dylan and Mr. Rage there to go in fighting wheel to wheel then, and it looks like that Mr. Rage has got the job done into before he even got to turn 1 there. Well, when Perez has done that, I must admit, I can't remember much of the sprint race, which is quite shocking, really, isn't it? But a very entertaining race so far here. Just for saying that Percy must be mad. Then I think he is going to definitely be furious, isn't he? That we haven't really laid the blame on either driver's door, then, because remember that we've had incidents around there, and it has resulted in penalties in the past. I think Hamilton got a penalty, didn't he, 1 year for spinning out on around. And look at this, then, and on the outside, the inside I should say, but he cannot get past him on there. Sweet is starting to struggle at the moment. Now, I say starting to struggle, he's not doing too bad, to be fair, is he? I'm just making up as I go along sometimes, only, which is nothing there. Edu is I think laid the blame at Boxtal's door, and for under Boxtal's door, as Boxtal who's so I think that Edu is in very much full support of Percy there, as Percy is trying to make his way back through the field then, and yellow flag there as Mr. Rage is recovering. He's down in 19th position now. We got Percy making his way up into 11th position then, but he's run Alhan out ever so slightly then, and Alhan has lost the position. And look, here comes Green. I love that helicopter shot. Fantastic. We should get more of that, I reckon. And look at this as Percy's out to defend here into turn 4, and Green then stays in at 12th position then. Percy then 7 laps into this one. KD in 8th position. Well, I think Gurman's dropped down the order because Chaz is flying now, isn't he? And I didn't expect much tyre wear. I didn't expect Tara to be an issue then, but I'm wondering if it is then on some of these drivers. And so we'll see who is the tyre tickler, and who could make these tyres last the longest. Troy is still in DRS range of Boxtel at this moment in time. Cushion is superb third position at the moment now. But on board of KD, who's now starting to reel in at the former champion of Gurman, our latest champion as well, in a full-time seat then, because Daniel Thomas, the defending champion, has elected to call it a day in the championship. That's unfortunately. And the gap at the front is very much whittled down then, in the top 4 are very much in line on stern of each other now, with Boxtel's 6/10 of a second away from Troy. Kush is half a second away, and Milan is less than half a second away. My goodness gracious me, to Mumford and Gamer, they're fighting, and now then Mumford up into 18th position now. No, wait, and down in 19th, I should say. And look, here's Percy on the outside here. Sweet then. So Sweet there, unfortunately, had to yield up the position there, didn't he? But now up into 10th position. Now goes Percy then. His next target is the Williams and the Red Bull. If he wants to get a point in this one, this is going to be crucial in his championship bid, isn't it here? KD, who is now got a 3-second penalty, and that is going to all but end his chances of points then. So Percy in a de facto 9th position here. So Percy now needs to overtake one more car, which is the Williams driver, Sonat, then into turn 1. And look at the gap in the front then, it's 8 seconds. It's 3/10 of a second now. And look at this, and this is going to be getting incredibly close now here between the two drivers. Remember that I think that Troy was unlucky not to win the first sprint race, wasn't it in Imola? But now he is Now then, here is Troy then really starting to have to defend now with just 3 laps to go. There is 3 DRSs around here as well, so it is not like Boxtel, Kush, and Milan are going to be difficult to find a way past. Then again, Troy, who's going to have to really start to be Perez's take a lead here of Perez's book and become a Ministry of Defence here as we come over the crest of the hill into 9 and 10 with just 3 laps to go in this one. And who is going to be our second ever race winner? Troy is off the circuit there. Oh, goodness me. And I think that Troy making is an uncharacteristic mistake then, but it's the second sprint in a row where he's had issues there. Of course, he made a mistake in Imola, but he's also made a mistake here in the sprint race as well. And Troy is in major has unfortunately dropped down the order, and his tires are going to be screaming there. And now that he is going to have to start to defend now from German, KD, Sonat, and Percy also in the facility as well. But Boxtel leads the sprint race then. Here with just 3 laps to go, Troy has made a crucial error here. And my goodness me. And we've got yellow flags there at the top of the hill because Sweet is off the circuit and drops himself down in 16th position then. Remember that this is to order the grid then for the race itself then. Which is coming up momentarily. My goodness gracious me though, Troy, and we've got some big losers and some big winners in this sprint at the moment. Chance has moved himself up 5 positions. Percy and Troy have dropped down 5 positions. Sweet has dropped down at 7 positions as well. Sam Green has made his way up 4 positions. Great stuff indeed there. And Nosey being consistent in 20th position, unfortunately, as the second Aston Martin is recovering as well as Gamers dropped down the order, unfortunately. Back at the front then with just 2 laps to go in this one. Milan is now on course for a rostrum winning position here. But Kush, can he win his first sprint race of his career? Magnificent stuff indeed. Troy's back past. Chaz made his way up into 5th position. He has. There he is. Chaz is down into 6th. And Boxtel's lost the lead here because the Kush is on the outside and takes the lead here. Of course, Kush had a couple of races in the wilderness, but he really turned with a vengeance in Silverstone last week. And now he leads the sprint race and going to be starting on 1st position. And if he can say that, but Kush, I think, has been really quick, hasn't he? Right out of the starting blocks here. As now Wesley has made his way up into 12th position. And Alhan has been relegated to 13th in this one there. Hats off the Siege as well. He's up 3 positions there. And coming into the final turn, and can Kush there. He's going to now go from the attacker to the fence now. Sarah's saying that this full race is going to be absolutely mad. It is indeed, isn't there? No retirements in the sprint. Good stuff indeed there. But look at this. So Boxtel is going to have DRS, but he's had a horrific run out of turn 1 there. And that is going to give Kush a bit of breathing space here up into turn number 3 as well. Yellow flag then as Mumford, oh goodness, well, given the commentator's curse then, we didn't have no retirements. We've had a retirement on the last lap here. Just watching backwards from Kush, and Percy is now definitely in the points. Made his way up into 8th position now, but he is going to be a bit behind the 8 ball, isn't he, in this one when we get going for real, because he will be 8th on the he will be starting at 8th on the grid, of course, but he will have that 1 point then. Green's got a penalty as well, and that's going to knock him down several positions, unfortunately. Kush there, and is going to get his, I think this is his first sprint race that he started, if I'm not very much mistaken. Kush coming over the crest hill then, and this will be Kush's first sprint race win of his career. And out of the final turn then, and a great performance here for Kush, and he is going to be starting first for the race itself, and he wins the sprint race there. Magnificent, with Boxtel in 2nd, and 3rd for Mumford, 3rd for Milan, I should say. And we've got a Glock in 4th position there. But the talking point of that sprint race, well, we've got 2 talking points there. Congratulations to Kush, who wins the sprint race there. He's going to be happy with that, and that's going to be some points in the bag then for Kush as well. Magnificent stuff indeed there, with Boxtel alongside him on row 1 and Milan in 3rd position there. I say 2 talking points, it's actually 3 talking points, and of course Kush winning the sprint race. Percy and Boxtel coming to Percy and Boxtel in turn 4. Of course, at this very corner here on the opening lap then, on the opening lap of the sprint, and not forget then. And of course, not forgetting that Troy made a mistake, didn't he, on the final turn then, which has cost himself major points there, and has also cost himself a chance to be starting nearer the front as well. Charles saying, poor Troy Percy saying, lovely stuff, and as he is, I don't think, very impressed is he then with himself in Box Styles race. Jewel, going down into turn number 4. My word then. Head down for the race, Percy lad then. And there is the classification then for the sprint then. So congratulations to Kush at his first sprint race win of his career with Box Style. Second. Third position is Milan. Great return from Milan, by the way. He looked very strong indeed, didn't he? Glock in fourth position with Troy in fifth. Chaz in sixth. German seventh. And Percy recovered back up into eighth position. Shows the pace of the man second in the championship. Sonat in ninth position with 10th position. Vesley. Alhan 11th. KD 12th. Sam Green 13th. Siege 14th. Dylan 15th. Sweet 16th. 17th is Gamer. 18th Mr. Rage. 19th is Knowlesy. And Mumford, unfortunately, our own retirement will start last on the grid then for the race itself. But then now we are going to be on to the 36 laps in the Austrian Grand Prix. Up next. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful sunshine here in Austria today, isn't it? Fantastic. I would say that tomorrow, though, I am expecting rain because it's silver. So that's just the way it is, really, isn't it? Fantastic stuff. Impossible to overtake, but I'll try them. Percy is saying. See, and there's me, the of course, not the racer, really. More of a fan, really, who doesn't know much about anything. Saying I thought it'd be easier to overtake, really, with the 3 GRSs then. But yeah, it's very interesting indeed. But Percy did make his way back up from. I think he dropped all the way down to 18th or 17th, didn't he, Percy? So good stuff indeed there for Percy, but yes, that is such a shame then indeed. Going back to Milan's comment then, which I didn't want to knock myself off my stride then, but yeah, Mushroom said that the top 15 should get the points to make it closer in the championships, and it's very interesting, isn't it? MotoGP does the top 15, don't they? I must say though, this I'm a bit old school to be honest. I feel that the top 10 scored is probably too many to be honest, and as they give out point, it was very difficult to score points in Formula 1 back in yesterday. But well, having said that though, I do like the fact is that now championships are awarded more on the point system rather than like count back of how high you finish and all that kind of stuff like they had to do back in like 94, 95, 96 and all that kind of stuff. Charles, who's your favourite to win then? Serious Mushroom has gone at Troy, who's in 3rd position. And going to soft tyres, Troy is then. So now this is the race itself then. So, of course, I hope you enjoyed the sprint. That was fantastic, wasn't it? But let's talk about who's starting on what tyre. So Troy is on the soft tyre. So he's going for an aggressive strategy then. I think it'll still be a one-stopper, unless there's going to be safety cars, which I do expect safety cars around here. It is old school, is it? There is a lot of runoff here. You see a lot of gravel, and oh goodness me, and Cash is already in the wall. And I hope that he's getting it all out of his system, because that's going to be could be a bad omen then. But medium tyres for Kush, medium tyres for Milan, medium tyres for Sonat, Alhan, Knowlesy and Mumford. Everyone else is on the hard tyres apart from Troy then. Kush, this is his first time he's starting a race then, from the top grid slot. Boxed out is alongside him on row 1. He's the championship leader. He's extended in the championship now to 7 points ish. Milan in 3rd position. A great return for Milan then. Fantastic. Looking like he's now been away. I do regret Milan then not being in the championship full time then, because I do think he would add to a four-way shootout for the championship. Troy in 5th, Chaz in 6th position, German 7th. We've got a massive, and look at this. I think that there's a bit of gamemanship going on between Percy and the front runners there, because he's really holding them up then, because their tyres are going to cool much more quickly, aren't they? Because they're just sat on the grid then. Percy in 8th position, Sonat in 9th who just spun. 10th is Vesley, 11th is Alhan, KD is 12th. Alongside KD is Green in 13th position then. Siege, great 14th position then. Dylan in 15th position as well. A lot of spinners then on this warm-up lap. 17th position is Sweet then. 17th position is Gamer then. I've got 217th on my grid then. Mr. Rage in 18th position, Knowlesy 19th, and 20th is Mumford then. As we are now lining up on the grid now, preparing ourselves for the start. As the red lights begin to come on, well, almost one at a time, but they all went out pretty quickly. And when we go, we'll be racing down it, and it's go here. And it's a very sluggish start there for Kush, but I think he's got away. Milan there is all over the clear Boxtel, so is Boxtel as well, but Milan is on the outside of Boxtel, takes fair position off Ferrari of German there, who's, we didn't rent that part of the track there, but look at Percy, as up in his 6th position already there, but there's attack everywhere now, it's one of the, it's Glock down the order, Glock is down the order then, unfortunately, and goodness me, and that's a terrible start, and who is that there? That's the Red Bull going up the inside of KD, KD going up the inside there of his teammate, and it's getting very, look at that, they're all over the circuit here, and goodness gracious me then, and look at the 2 Red Bulls then going head to head there, and Troy's up in the third. Troy has had a flying start here, going on the soft tires, attacking the opening stages here, and we got Gaiman now in the 12th position as well. Green is down in 13th, but Knowles he's losing out position then. We're not sure what happened then, but look at Kirsch, he just disappeared with Milan in 2nd position at the moment then. 3rd position is Troy, he is flying on those soft tires there, making ground up then. Fantastic there for Troy then. Boxtel down in 4th position now, and look who's behind him. It is German, and it is Percy as well. It is Percy is really attacking the opening stage in this race then. And Alhan have 4 positions. He's done a fantastic job, as has Mumford at 9 positions. Gamer at 5 positions as well. Chazza having an appalling start, and Glock also having an appalling start as well in this one. Unfortunately, but this is not a sprint race, so this is the main event then. This is lap, we got 2 out of 36 here. This is going to be a quick one as well, I would say then, as Percy on the harder tyres, along with his championship rival Boxtel Chaz at the inside, you know, here he is, and passing Siege, and Siege has had a really bad run there out of turn number 3, and now here comes Mr. Rage, and going up the inside, he's got the 50th position and passes the Williams driver and made his way, but here goes Siege going for the switchback here. He is going for the switchback, you know, but I think that that might have been he thought better of it then. So Milan has kept it to within DRS range. The DRS will be activated at the end of this at the end of this lap now. So now this is going to get very interesting indeed, very fruitfully. Look at that though, Boxtel's a 2.5 back, and then look at German, and Milan is set to fast up race, and he's now starting to reel in Kush here, isn't he? Milan, can he get, now that would be a story, can Milan get his 2nd Grand Prix winner ever in his ALR career? Fantastic, on his return as well, he is looking quick, isn't he, here tonight? Here comes Percy, German's got a DRS as well from Boxtel. Boxtel's trying to get away from these 2, but there's the 2 championship protagonists that are going to be head to head, and thank goodness me, we've already seen it in sprint. I didn't expect to see it in the race itself, Ben, but we potentially could be getting that in the not too distant future here. But Percy still has to contend with German, the latest ALR champion in this race, who's in 5th position at this moment now. Troy is now 6/10 of a second back. Mumford getting past KD, and Mumford on the fringe of the points here. The Ferrari driver's having an inspired race. That's call, goodness me, and I'm not sure, was there looked a bit of contact there, and I'm wondering then if Mumford got damage. I hope not then, but it certainly hit the wall. It was more than a glancing blow, wasn't it, for the Ferrari, as they was getting very very close there, weren't they? But of course that part of the circuit there, you're always asking for trouble, aren't you? But I think Mumford is carrying on, so hopefully that hopefully there's no major damage there. Glock making his way up into 20th position at the moment now. And coming up the up the hill once again then, and now Milan is using DRS, and so Troy is as well. Troy using those soft tires. The only driver to start on the soft tires. I think them soft tires was a mistake. Serious Mersham was saying then it's paid off handsomely, hasn't it? But Serious Mersham is right, I think, now, because the long game here, I think, may hurt Troy, and it may force him into a 2-stopper. And now we've got Chazza, who's had a nightmare start in this one, is down in 14th position there, but he's fighting Mr. Rage here. Look at that then, Siege closing on the brake and ever so slightly there. I'm so amazed of how these drivers there just can find the braking point lap after lap then and not go into the back of each other more often than not. It's fantastic, isn't it, to see? It's such skill from all 20 drivers, and it's magnificent indeed then. Here is Troy, he's 2 seconds in front of Boxtel, but Boxtel I think is going to be a bit concerned about this, about German and Percy, and here he comes there, and Percy there very much, he wants to get past, and he is past German, made his way up into fifth position, I say, third time's a charm. Now, are we going to have a repeat then from the sprint race? Look, there they are. These are the two championship protagonists, and Troy is just up the road as well in third position then. Now, this is going to get very interesting, and Percy is absolutely flying out there at the moment, isn't he? He is a man possessed at this race at the moment. KD has got past Vesey, made his way up into ninth position, and Vesey's off the circuit there, and he's dropped down into 15th position, and KD making his way up into Vesey's dropped all the way down the order, unfortunately. It's not good at all there for Vesey. KD now putting on position. Mumford driving superbly well in 10th on those medium tyres. Fantastic stuff from the Ferrari driver, looking very strong indeed there. His teammate German there is in 6th position, but he is trying to drop off the back of Boxtel and Percy are really, Percy's really wringing the neck of this Aston Martin car, isn't he? And now they come into the final turn. And, I dare not look serious, much was saying, and this could be, this is going to get very, we're going to get very interesting here, isn't it? That is for damn sure in this one. Goodness me, a bit of profanity from myself. Chazza in, Chazza 210 second back moment, but I'm keeping on this one here as the championship road champion. Oh no, KD is off the circuit, and he has spun off in turn one, and all his hard work and get himself up into ninth position there has just unfortunately dropped himself down. And out of points contention at the moment there. He needs to get himself going in this one there. I remember, because it's a short circuit as well, you do not want to get lapped then around here, but there is quite a high probability that you will be lapped then. But remember, you cannot unlap yourself if the safety car comes out. If the safety car, not when, then goodness me. But I do love a good safety car. It definitely breathes new life into a race, doesn't it? But I don't think we need much more life in this race at the moment, as we are on lap 6 out of 36 here in this one. So we have got a long way to go. Troy is doing a very good job on those soft tyres. I wonder if me and Sayers might be a bit off the mark with that. But we're only on lap 7 now. Goodness me, then there's me getting very excited. We've got a long way to go in this one, but I'm wondering if Troy can get one stop out there, come in the pits early and just really look after the hard tyres to the end of the race. And Katie has got 3 second pole. I think that's a lot of frustration there from Katie, who's dropped right down into 20th position. Then just watching a person. Percy is closing up under braking once again. Boxtel, who's now started to stabilise the gap then between himself and Troy. Percy, of course, there we heard it before the race, and he was not happy with Boxtel when they came to blows at this corner here, and that has been the major talking point in this race so far. But Percy has been absolutely incredible. He's made his way back up through the field. He got himself into 8th position on the grid, and now he is chasing down his championship rival. The Glock is up into 15th position again, past the second McLaren of Dylan. He's made his way back up into 5th position now, and he's right behind his championship rival here. And he's looking very strong indeed then. Boxer struggling at this moment in time. We've also got Milan, who is now reeled in quite considerably. Kush then, and look at this, and Kush has made a bit of a mistake then out of turn 1, and here comes Milan, and Kush can't defend that one, and the man who started first here in this race, and Milan takes the lead here in the Austrian Grand Prix. Magnificent stuff indeed there from Milan. He is not, he's only won one race in his ALR car. There's contact there, and who's that? That's a Haas car, and a Mercedes, a Chazza, and Mr. Racer is together on track, and Chazza's got damage as well. Vesey on the inside of Dylan into turn 3, and he is now up into a 13th position. Don't think that 14th position there. Sam Green also up into, also in 11th position as well. Mumford up into a superb 9th position. He's my driver of the day so far, but we got a very long way to go before we even think about that, and good heavens. So Milan, what's he going to do now then? Is he going to he's already gapping. Look at that, he's almost in our DRS, and after a lap around here. That is redonkulous speed there for Milan. Fantastic stuff indeed. And now then, as he saw set the fast up race, and yellow flag as Dylan's off the circuit in the middle sector here, and Mumford has dropped down into 10th position as well. And as Dylan is struggling to get on the circuit there, he's dropped down into 19th position there, and Mumford is now under the car share from Green, who's in 11th position now. As we mentioned, Green is on a fine run of form at this moment in time then, isn't he? Look at this, that is Gosh, had a very good strong start to this lap, though, hasn't he? He's got the gap, a 5-second penalty for Mr. Rage then, and he is. I think that's just really compelling his misery at this stage. There, Dylan's also got a 5-second penalty as well for speeding in the pit lane. Now, goodness gracious me! And now coming over the brow of the hill, then here comes who is this? This is Green up the inside. That is Mumford. I'm wondering if he's struggling here, isn't he? Mumford is now. I'm wondering if well, he's doing 8 laps on the medium tires, hasn't he? There, but I'm wondering if there's, I wonder if he's overcooked him ever so slightly. Alhan is superb 7th position, looking very happy with that, isn't he, at the moment, Milan? Back to the championship protagonists here then, and here they are then. Percy has really stalled out, hasn't he? Into the pits comes Troy now, so Troy into the pits after 9 laps here. Lovely helmet, by the way, for Troy, and he is in the pits then. Let's see then, what is he going to go on then? I need to pause the race. Serious Rusher was saying that now he's on the hard tires. That should be to the end of the race then, but let's see how this strategy transpires then. Has he got a good gap as well? I think he's got the perfect gap, hasn't he? No, I don't think so, actually. He is going to come out right in the middle of the Knowlesy and Sweet battle here. So Troy will have some more laps in it. Will have some more laps to really put the pressure on. And look at that, then Milan also squirreling as well here. And I think that then Troy has even done a superb job on the on those tyres, these guys are maybe overthinking it and thinking it's a tyre issue. It might just be that the back end is really adventurous then as well. Boxtel is still under pressure, but the gap is now 2.6 seconds then, as Boxtel and Percy are watching the front two pull away. It's great to see Kush up there, isn't it? Milan then is super sub for Liam Yed tonight, who's leading this race then, and Haas are going to be overjoyed then. Serious Mushroom thinks that Troy's going to have to pit again. It's going to be a long stint, isn't it? Mumford, a 3-second penalty. Off the road goes Milan then, and Milan is going to be under pressure here. He's, oh goodness gracious me then, look at this, he's underneath the rear wing. He's alongside Milan, takes the lead then. Milan's going to come back at him, is he? No, he isn't then, as he's just too far back then. And this battle is also starting to heat up as well, between the two championship protagonists. We're going to get a round 2 around the outside of turn 4 between Percy and Boxtel. Troy has made his way up into 15th position now, but yes, I think that Serious Motion could be right on this. Okay, could be right then, and hit the nail on the head then, and Troy may have to come to the pits again, but we'll soon find out that Gamer has dropped down into 9th position. Gamer's had a great race, hasn't he? I remember he started in the back of the field up into 9th position. Well, was 8th, but he's now down to 9th. And Green and also doing a good job in the Red Bull, and he's made his way up into 8th position in car number 8. Magnificent stuff indeed. That Troy is now on the back of Sweet, so we leave him to it for the minute. Now Kush, as these two have fought for the race lead at the moment, and now it is advantage Kush again, but Milan has DRS on the pit straight, and now he'll have the DRS on this straight as well up into turn 3, and there he is, and he can see his championship, his race rifle, not championship rifle just yet. Then, as of course Milan is only it's only a second race for Milan, but Kush also been a bit inconsistent so far this season. Then, but I think the last 2 races he has been absolutely standing up in the seat of this Alpine car and really starting to get a sweeter, getting the sweeter out of this Alpine. Then, was that what I was meant to say? I don't think it was, but never mind. Look at this, and this is the battle for the final podium at the moment, but potentially Troy could be in this battle as well later on. Then Troy has now got a lovely 3-second gap then between himself and his teammate Besley, so this is where he can really start to put that put the undercut to work then, and make his way. Can he get past Milan and Kush? I think he can. However, the question will be is how long look at those hard tires last set. Is he going to come to the pits again? Can he get him to the end of the race? Then there's a lot of questions that we will have answered hopefully in the next half an hour's time. Then just watching Percy all over the back. Then this is best shot of overtaking Boxtel here. Then, and this is very important. And I think Percy does have to pace it tonight then over Boxtel. But again, then Boxtel defending beautifully well. He's got a very slippery car underneath in that Mercedes Mercedes powered McLaren as well, isn't he? German though is also looking very menacing in the background as well. German is not in this championship fight, is he? We asked him after the Canadian Grand Prix win if he was in the championship fight. He said no, he's just going to go for victories this season. And at the moment he's going to be certainly aiming for a podium at the very least in this race, isn't it? Because German has a lot of pace in it. He said in qualifying that if he didn't make that mistake, he would have been very much further up the field than what he was at. But he is sitting there very menacingly and looking to further improve his position at the race and at the moment. Gamer now on the back of green here. I think Gamer, I was talking about Mumford being drawn today. I think the Gamer probably also had to be a shooting as well, but we ain't even have to suggest anything. And that Milan's got a penalty there. Of course, that is one of Milan's frailties, isn't he, as a Grand Prix driver, is he does pick up a lot of penalties, doesn't he? And unfortunately on this occasion, that could cost him the race win here. But it's very easy to pick up penalties around here. Look at this, we've got about 6 drivers that got penalties already, but 2 of them got 5 seconds for speed in the pit lane. Wish they would make the driver list smaller. Serious Russia said, yeah, I know, it is a bit big, isn't it? It does cover up at least 1/3 of the screen then, doesn't it? Which is probably a bit too big, really, isn't it? I'll take it off. I do try and take it off when I remember. Green Mumford, Gamer, Siege, Glock, and Vesey on a great scrap there. But that is a nightmare for Troye because he's going to have to overtake those drivers, isn't he? Yellow flag as one of the I think it's Mr. Rage who's had an issue then out of the turn 1 here, and Mr. Rage dropped down to 19th position. I think he was 19th already, to be honest. But yeah, that's not good at all then. Milan then, who's now got a 3-second penalty, but I think that other drivers are going to get penalties before this race is done and dusted then. As Equal said, let's go, the ALR Gold, let's go Percy. He's flying at the moment, Percy is he's having a look on the inside of Boxtel, but he's too far back. Well then, of course, catching new guys up then who have just come to join the race and a bit later on. Well, we had a sprint race just earlier on this one. Mr. Ray's got a 3-second penalty. We had the sprint race earlier on in this one, and of course remember that it got very close between Boxtel and Percy, which left Percy having to recover in the sprint race. He made his way up to 5th position. Up into 8th position. Now he's made his way up into, that's a bad camera angle, that's better. Made his way up into 4th position now, right behind his championship protagonist, which is Box out moment. And he lost it in the championship last time on Silverstone. He would love to gain it back then, and this is a very crucial part of the championship, isn't it? Siege on the outside, great manoeuvre there. Mumford dropping down the order there. He's really struggling on the medium tires there. Milan is the first to blink of the front runners to come to the pits. Troy on the medium tires, I should say. Troy has already been in the pits there. And oh gosh, Aaron, I'm not sure. Did Siege go into the back of Mumford then? Mumford has really struggled there. We've got 3 drivers in the pits on the medium compound tyres there. Vesey in the background, and behind Vesey is going to be Troy. And I think that Troy will be hoping that all these drivers start to pit sooner rather than later here, because of course he doesn't want to be held up as he is trying to undercut the front two drivers here, which was Kush and Milan. Now Kush has got a lead at the moment, but Milan does have a 3-second penalty, unfortunately, in his to be added at the end of his race time at this moment. Where is Troy? Troy is now less than a second back there. Here's Glock on the inside, goes Siege in past Siege there. Great stuff indeed, or I should say Surge in past Siege rather than Siege, because I think that's the wrong word to use. On the Mumford's damaged, I think Serious Bush was saying that he has struggled. We didn't see it in the pit lane, unfortunately, but he is down in the 70th position now, hopefully. Into the pits comes the race leader, and so Kush is in the pits and responding to the pit stop of Milan, who's down in 12th position at the moment. The leaders now is Boxtel and Percy, and German is the 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Also in the pits there is Sonat as well. So the hard and medium tires going to 15 laps around here. Pretty impressive stuff indeed. The only driver not to come to the pits at the moment is Knowlesy, who's just in 14th position at this moment in time. Then there is Troy then, and out of the pits comes Kush then. So Troy has leaped in front of the two race leaders. There they are, and now Milan is in. Now Milan is down in. Is in past Kush, I should say, and Troy is now up into 9th position there, 8th position, I should say. Then, and look at that. Then it's Vesely was into the back of his teammate, didn't he? And now look at this, as Milan is through and up into 9th position. On board, lovely over the shoulder shot here. But Vesely's trying to come back out and then going into turn number 3. Contact between the two drivers there, and Milan are just about through then. And goodness gracious me, and Vesely there really fighting as hard as he dares, doesn't he? Of course, Vesely is a top talent, but at the moment this season, and he hasn't. He's had a couple of good races, but the rest have been very difficult so far for Vesely. This is going to get very interesting. So when the hard runners going to come to the pits, have we seen the medium tires do about 15 laps or so before losing their grip? Then maybe not at a quick stop then as well. So I think it's from Serious Russian and with Mumford then, and now Troy is up into 7th position. This is going to be very interesting indeed, isn't it? I'm loving this. Fantastic stuff. Katie's got a 3-second penalty. No retirement so far at this moment, and on lap 18, half distance in this race there. All the drivers have been very well behaved here tonight in Austria. Look at this, now Troy up the inside. He has descended. He is sending it then, and he's got through, and Glock has been forced off the road, and now Milan's having a look at here comes Siege as well. Oh my goodness me, Milan's off the circuit, goodness gracious me. And now up into 7th position of Siege. I don't think Glock is going to be liking the robustness of trying that. Up the inside, there goes Glock, and he has defended his position off Siege there. My goodness gracious me then. Getting very fruity out there at the moment. Now going through is Kush, who is now down in 9th position. He, as long as he stays there 3 seconds of Milan, and because Milan does have a 3-second penalty, and also he needs to make sure he doesn't get a penalty either. Milan is now less than a second back from from Troy, who's the de facto race leader at this moment in time. Then back on board with Kush at the moment, who's really pushing on, isn't he? Glock, who's started this race on the hard tires, isn't there? So it's a moment. Oh goodness me, very close. Then Glock dropping down into 9th position there. He had a bit of a nightmare start to this race. He's made his way back up into was back in 8th position. He's now down in 9th, but he does have DRS then, and here he comes then, and he's now going to. He's now going to have a look then, is he? Not quite then, is Glock just too far back as Serious Mushroom. Ooh, Vesely then, yes, and Vesely then getting a bit, getting a bit interested, was he, into turn 4. And we've also got Dickus as well saying, wow, welcome to the stream, Dickus, welcome to the stream, Dickus, and I hope you're enjoying the action so far. I can't remember last time Dick was in the stream here, so fantastic stuff indeed. Going to Cressida again, and this is the battle for the race lead, and these at the moment are only battling for the podium positions at the moment because of the pace of Milan, Kush, and Troy also will add into that as well. Into the pits there comes Chadza, who's onto the soft tyres there. Interesting strategy there, as we got Chazza's off the circuit there, and unfortunately he is going to be lapped, and he is lapped now by the race leaders. And yes, there they are. And German dropping back ever so slightly. He's about 7/10 of a second back now from these two battling leaders then, but he is still in the DRS range, which is the most important thing at the moment. Now Kush there is gained back on Milan. Look at this though. So I think Serious Mushroom is right, because look at this, and we're only on lap 20. Troy's done 10 laps there, but look at the pace already. Difference between Milan and Kush. So Troy, I think on this very adventurous strategy, starting on the soft tyres there, is he going to be able to get the end on the hard set? And more importantly, he's going to get onto the hard. If he can get to the end on the hard, which I think he can, but is he going to get to the ends then on the hard tires? It's a decent pace, and I think is also the question now, is that because look, and someone's kicking up some dust in the background there, because look at this, Troy, Milan, and Kush have all condensed down on each other now, and this is very interesting indeed then. Of course, Kush now won a race, and of course he did win the sprint earlier on. That Milan is a Grand Prix winner, whilst Troy is a multiple Grand Prix winner. So very intense stuff in at the front here, but Troy is in a championship battle, whilst these two, Kush and Milan, are not in a championship battle. At this moment though. And look at this, and here comes Kush. He's going to have a look. Is he? Not quite then, as he's still too far back at the moment, and still 20 cars a lap in this circuit at the moment now. Hello, what have I missed? Oh, Milan! I've missed that! Milan is off the circuit, and he has dropped out the order. Milan has, and goodness me, that is a major mistake there for Milan. Or was it a mistake then? No, it wasn't. I've just watched it back there. I think the Kush and Milan have come together. I think I was just watching it back there. Oh my goodness me. No goodness gracious. That is not good at all. Is that? I'm not sure if Kush was a bit robust in the overtake there, or was Milan just there just turning into Kush as he overtook. I don't know that. But whatever the case may be, they did come to blows. Then I'll just watch it back. Chaz has set the fast lap race, absolutely flying on the soft tires. You get a point for fast lap and wherever you are on the race, as long as you finish fourth. Into the pits, there comes a green. Troy, who is now got Kush behind him, and Kush is aiming for his first ever Grand Prix win, but him and Milan then have come to blows, so it's put a bit of a tarnish, hasn't it, on Kush's performance so far. Albeit he has been doing a fantastic job. We started out to see this Alpine, hasn't he, in the last two races, especially Silverstone, and here tonight he has been in absolutely tip-top form now. But Milan 5 seconds back now. Did Milan get damaged? I don't think he did, but he's got a 5-second gap between himself and Kush now. So Milan is hoping that Gamer causes some kind of a backlog here, which will allow him to get into this battle again. But at the moment, Milan is 6 seconds back. He's lost a bit more time than Mumford and Siege going head to head. Siege has just come onto the medium tires, so he's got to fire up those tires. So Mumford on the outside taking the position. Sweet as a nut there for Mumford, but Siege will probably come back at him. And Percy in the pits there, and there's yellow flags there. There's yellow flags somewhere, and I'm not sure if it was Percy making a mistake coming to the pits there, but both race leaders are in the pits now onto the medium tires headed till the end of the race there. I think Percy has either made a mistake there or something's gone wrong in turn 9 coming into the pit lane, because the gap is a bit bigger than what it was then. And now they're coming out of the pits. Kush and Troy are already through. There they are, and here comes Kush now. And Milan is through, but I don't think he's going to get in front of Boxtel, but he's going to be very quick now. And Troy is through past his Gamer. His Gamer giving Kush a bit of a squeeze, so Kush could go up and under here. Lovely stuff indeed then. Is he going to use a bit of hers? He does use a bit of hers as well, and great control there. Great lining up there for Kush, and fantastic. He is now up into third position. Kush is that. Surely Troy can go another 14 laps on the medium, on the hard tires. Boxed out. Milan then. Oh, goodness me. I think Milan's going to be very feisty at this stage, isn't he? So the drivers to start on the hard tires now gone to the medium. So Boxed out and Percy are two of the drivers, and Sam Green and Glock is another one, and Vesey as well. So very interesting stuff indeed. Then my predictions are Boxed out, Percy, and German Cass are saying then. I think at the moment, though, I think that the man in the box seats is actually Troy at the moment there with Kush second. But remember, the Boxed out and Percy, which I forgot to mention in the opening stint, and the reason why they probably pulled away is because they was on alternative strategies. Shameful for everybody, really, isn't it? Like, probably should have said that earlier on there. Equals, what is the pole position time? I can't remember what the pole position time was. Goodness gracious me! And Kush having a look there, but I think he thought a better of it. They're going into turn 3, so but he may have a better look. They're going into turn 4. Look in the background, there's Gamer. He is still out on 23 lap old tires. I wonder if he's thinking about going to the soft tires. The soft tires of Troy's did last about 10-ish laps, 8 to 10 laps, didn't they? Before coming into the pits. Goodness me. German has done 22 laps. Game on. It is, isn't it? Because I think that German maybe another driver like a Gamer that could be going on this. Look at that, this green is through and past that. So German's in the pits now. And what tires are going to go on? He's going to go on to, I think it's the only sensible. I say sensible, but it's really very much up in the air. German's in the pits at the race leader. So what tires are going to go on? And Milan has had issues, and Milan has dropped down into the 10th position there. And this race was just looking so promising for Milan. And he's been so quick as well, but he is unfortunately first set the fast lap. Unfortunately, it's just gone a bit awry, hasn't it? And he's into the pits now. He's retired from the race. That's our first race retirement of the session here. And look at German. Then I'm not sure up at the entry into the pit lane, but I feel that I think that Milan's out of the race. That's the session, unfortunately, and that's a shame then because he was a big hitter in this race, wasn't he? But Percy made. I'm not sure if he made a mistake, but that has been. We've got a yellow flag there for when the Haas car is struggling in turn 1. Oh, it's Gomez Milan, that's why. Goodness me, I've got memory for goldfish. But as the lead has been swapped then. There we are, and Kush takes the lead, unbeknownst to me, whilst we've been watching everything else going on tonight. Milan spun Serious said, and we got Kush who now leads this race then, and he is very much in the box. I'm going to be honest there, he is looking strong now. Troy is on very old hard tires there. He's on... well, he's done a lot more laps than has he. He's almost done. He's just under double the stint then of Kush in front of us here. So Kush now leads ahead, but I think that Boxtel is going to be very interesting in this Grand Prix win now. Can he win this race? Can he get his fourth race win of his career, and fourth race win of the season? I'm saying his fifth race win of his career for Boxtel, because he's looking strong now, isn't he? The championship leader in this one. Oh my goodness gracious me! This one has been very much dramatic to say the least, hasn't it? But interesting to see then how this one transpires there. Alhan up into a superb sixth position there. He is doing a similar strategy to Kush, and he's started on medium tires. He's now on the hard tires, but he does have green, and Sonat then also chasing down Glockham not position there with Vezi in temperature as well. Gamer has gone on to the medium tires then, so he has got a great opportunity now, Gamer, of getting some decent points, and he's been very unlucky this season, hasn't he, Gamer has? He's had the pace more often than not then, but unfortunately he's not got the results, has he, when he needed them. For one reason or another, gap is down to 2.1 seconds. That is quite a lot of time now. Kush has been on it tonight. Serious Mushroom was saying, yeah, he was on it in Silverstone as well, wasn't he? But tonight Kush has very much elevated his game here, hasn't he? And it's certainly going to be, I think, certainly drivers are not good. I think the front three drivers of Troy, Boxtel, Percy are not going to be welcoming Kush's involvement in the battle for the lead, are they? Especially, it's going to complicate the championship order, isn't it? And Gurman also very getting very fruity as well, and looking like he's on the ascendancy. But Kush has not pulled out the DRS, has he, just yet? And now this might be Troy's opportunity then, just to pull himself along ever so slightly. But Boxtel, with just under 9 laps to go, is now very much in the winning fight here. Percy, I think, is out of it now. He is fight. He's 3 seconds back from Boxtel. Gurman all over his gearbox. I mean, 3 seconds isn't a lot, is it? But in Formula 1 terms, I think that means that he might be out of this. There he is! Boxtel is flying on the medium tires, isn't he? And he's very much got himself. He's very much got himself in the mix. And here, Kush and Troy are going to have to find some pace from somewhere, because I think Boxtel's going to just breeze by him, isn't he, at this moment in time? Oh, I've just swallowed me tongue. Chaza is now coming out on soft tires again, and as he wants to he wants the who am I talking about? I don't know. I can't remember now. I've got the strikes. I'll blame Equals and Serious Mushroom. Serious Mushroom knows he will get the driver of the day watch. Yes, I'm still mad about it. Serious Mushroom technical says I think someone who's in charge of the driver of the day award in bronze on Tuesday. Of course, unfortunately, gave it to a reserve driver, didn't they? Which is shocking behaviour, wasn't there? Of course, it was a certain ginger guy that did the driver of the day award. So I just point the finger at him. We're just Troyden is still hanging on there, isn't he? But look, Boxtel almost less than a second now from the battling duo at the front then. As H-Well saying, Gamer top 10 fire. He is on fire tonight, Gamers, isn't there? And he's on he's on much younger tyres than who drives around like Glock and Sonat. And I think even Green as well. So I think Gamer, the sky is the limit at the moment. Alhan, I think, is also going to be a bit worried about this, isn't he? Because he's now, I think the drivers are now starting to really bunch up behind him in this one, isn't he? So I think that Alhan is going to, he's definitely wants to finish in that position there, but I think he's going to have a hard job doing it. And Percy is still 3.5 seconds back there. This is the battle for the lead now between Kush, who has not pulled away from Troy, has he? But Boxtel has reeled in both these drivers at quite an alarming rate then in the last couple of laps or so then. B-Rabbit, I say, wow, Gold is really quick and clean. Respect to all of them there. Hey up, Rabbit lad there as well from Serious Mushroom as well. I think it's been a very good race, hasn't it? Very intriguing. No safety cars either. And I think that, yes, I did say earlier on, I do love a safety car, but in this race there, we have not needed one, have we, there? Because there's been so much intrigue and so much action going on here. Glock is who's very interested in taking Sonat's position here. Sonat down in 8th position. Now we got to check on the penalties. We'll check on the penalties before this one is done. So do not worry about that one, folks. Oh, as I've once again almost swallowed my tongue then. It's too much for me. And look at this, and there's a box tail now on the, now trying to have a look at on the inside of Troy, going up into turn one then, but of course I figured that was always going to be a spin zone. So he's now gone on the inside and he takes second, but they still doesn't know because Troy is fighting as hard as he dares. But remember that these guys are involved in the championship fight. German's got past Percy and up into fourth position. There he is in the background. And German is through Percy, who of course is was having a fantastic drive, wasn't he? But unfortunately he's down in fifth position now, isn't he? And he has also got 2 lap load of tires. I say much over tires there. 2 lap load of tires. And German, Sam Green has got past Auhan and made his way up into 6th position as well. Great stuff indeed there for Green. There he is, and into turn 4. Fantastic stuff indeed. Glock has got past Sonat as well. Both Alfa Romeos are now 7th and 8th at this stage of the Grand Prix. Sonat there is not giving up there. Goodness me. Contact between Glock and Sonat there, and Glock is going to be furious, isn't he? Dropping down to 9th position. Oh, goodness me. And Glock in 11th position there is him and Sonat there. Unfortunately came the blows, didn't he? Now let's get this battle for the lead there between Kush and Boxtel. Sonat's got a 3-second penalty there. It's all starting to pull away ever so slightly for the Williams drive. Then on the outside, on the inside goes Boxtel, takes the lead of the Grand Prix. There's a Ferrari off in the infield then. I think that is Mumford having an issue. 5 laps to go, and Boxtel has not led the most, has not been in the lead of this race at all. Now leads German's off the circuit there, and Gundersfield also shows up the German, but that's allowed Percy to get that pass. Boxtel leads this race. Oh my goodness gracious me. And we got a lot of pink hands in the comments as well. Fantastic. Yeah, Mumford there is in the pits now. But German also off the circle as well. 5-second penalty for Mumford. But German also off the circle and is thrown away 4th position, unfortunately. And yeah, so Percy then, I think, might be happier about that then. But he's down in 4th then, Percy, and he probably expected more in this race. So be a bit disappointed. Kush has lost the lead then with just 5 laps to go in this race then. And I'm wondering then if the hard to medium tire, well, there's obviously, isn't it? And the hard to medium tire was probably the best way to go. Then we've got Mercedes in front of us. I think that's Chazza who's just been lapped there in the he's on the soft tyres. They go for fast lap, which I think he's got fast lap, hasn't he? So Gamer now on the back of Sonat as well. There he is then. Gamer up into 9th position. Can he get into 8th as well? Glock then, who I think will be a bit unhappy about that then, as him and Sonat came to blows, didn't they, in the mid part of the lap then last time around. There is Glock in the background, and Vesey is also with him as well. But now then Gamer is through, moving south up into 8th position. Next target is 2 seconds down the road, and you've got your flags around at this section as well. And that's one of the Mercedes off his Chazza off the circuit, and unfortunately the boxed out is trying to break away from the DRS range of Kush, and he is doing so now. Kush, then this will still be his specials of his career in ALR with a 2nd position, and yellow flag then is, I think it's for Chaz as well, just trying to get out of the way. Then Dylan into the pits after 22 laps on those medium tyres. That's a fantastic stint there from Dylan. Unfortunately though, it's not helped him elevate himself up the order slightly. So Green does have a 3-second penalty, which will make get Alham back up into 6th position. But I think though that will also allow Gamer up in 6th as well. So Gamer, a very strong end to this race for Gamer. He went through the pain, the hard tyres on the first, and got himself into a very nice window, and now he's on the medium tyres and he's absolutely flying out there. I think he is just outside the DRS range of Alhan, so he ain't going to get that. He ain't going to get the benefit of that just yet. Then, but he will do on the next round as well. Then. Draw of the day is up. Sam, Alhan, and Gamer then all in there for draw of the day. Who do you think will be draw of the day? Put your votes in, ladies and gents. On board now with Cushion. I would put Cushion as well, as draw of the day. But as a Gamer is through, I think the Gamer should be one of my draw of the day. With Sam Green, all 3 of them deserve draw of the day, don't they? But of course, only one can be draw of the day, can't they? And at the moment, Alhan has got 67% of the vote. Then Gamer has got 50% of the vote now, hasn't he? Alhan's on a stormer facts Sir Special is saying that. As a Kush then still in DRS range here, and I'm wondering now, is the medium tires going to start to fall off on Boxtel's car? And if it does, then can Kush get his first ever Grand Prix win with 3 laps to go? I think that there's anything can happen in this race still. Sonat, who's got a 6-second penalty, which will drop him down to 10th then, but I think he is safe from Vesely and Siege at the moment, who's unfortunately got penalties of their own, unfortunately for those drivers. This race is far from over, isn't it? Vesely has gone off the circuit, though, and he's down in 12th position. Vesely is there. Sonat all over the back of Auhan here, and Sonat there just trying to get past. And of course, Auhan, who is doing a monstrous stint on those hard tyres, isn't there? Sonat, who's got slightly younger tyres, with Glock also starting to get involved as well. Yellow flags at the top of the hill. I think it's Vesely again, is it? Who's off the circle? It is indeed. Then Vesely is recovering now. He's down into 40th position. He's lost 3 positions then after late mistakes in this race. Unfortunately, Troy has lost an abundance amount of time, hasn't he? And is dropping hand over fist, and instantly to Percy, because Percy can get on the podium here, and Percy could get on the podium here, and it might be a very tense podium as well. Then his Glock is past that, as Sonat is down in 10th position now. He does have the he does have, because Siege has passed as well, because Sonat's off the circuit, coming into the pit lane here, and he's dropped out of the points at Sonat, and so we're just a couple of laps to go in this one. Goodness me, Percy then, this is crucial for Troy and Percy's championship campaign. This one then, great pace for Troy on those tyres. It is, isn't it? But unfortunately, Troy has absolutely lost so much time in the last lap or two, and I think that he stretched them out a bit too far towards the end of this one. Kush then with just 1 lap to go, then has he got an opportunity here to go for the race win? He's half a second at the moment now. Kush, he's almost out of deployment, as you can see from the steering wheel there, and but I think that Kush is going to give it all his all, and this is best race of his career so far. It's been superb now, but he would love to go one result better and get the race win there from Boxtel, but Boxtel's got a championship, has he, that he wants to keep hold of, so I'm wondering then if that is going to be a part of his thinking then as we enter the final lap of this Austrian Grand Prix. And we've also got, there is in the background, is Troy and Percy. Percy, I think, needs to get past Troy. Troy needs to keep him back, doesn't he? We're not even at half distance in this race yet, but it's so crucial in the championship, isn't it? Oh my goodness gracious me. Glock, who's all over the back of Auhan as well then. I'm wondering if, and we've also got McLaren there as well. Yellow flag again as one of the Alpines is off. I think it's Nosey who's had an issue in the midfield, and Nosey's done a good job actually to get his way up into 14th position there. However, I can't see where he is, and he's gone off in a quite a heavy way, Nosey, I'd say. But I think that is it then. That is it for Boxtel and Kush. And Kush has done a great job today, hasn't he? And Troy has somehow... Percy is off the circuit there, and oh goodness me, and Percy has dropped down into 5th position, and German's back up at the 4th, and Boxtel wins the Austrian Grand Prix, his 4th race win of the season, and this is a crucial one as well, because he's now got breathing space in the World Championship, and goodness gracious me, Kush's great results, great response here, as... Percy is not going to get any points there, because I think he crashed before the line here, Percy has there, and it's a nightmare race for the man who was in the championship, and he is now out of the points, and that is crucial, and that is 5 points that has really been slipped from, 10 points that has slipped from his grasp there, and look, just before the line there, and Sonat's it's Sweet who's going to get a point here in this one. Oh my goodness me, that is a major point swing, isn't it, in the World Championship? Oh goodness gracious me then, and Kush said just about, unfortunately, was so close, but no cigar, unfortunately for Kush, but what a performance there. His best race result of his career. Boxtel, his 4th race win of the season here tonight then, and he's now extended his lead in the championship. Great performance there for Gamer at the moment. No, it's Auhan who's leading the driver of the day results in the YouTube section there. Get your votes coming in then, guys. And goodness gracious me then. So a bit of controversy in this one, is in the end there. But what a result then for Boxtel. He now extends his lead in the World Championship. And goodness gracious me, absolutely enthralling race as well. I think we only had 2 retirements in the end, didn't we? And now the bubbly is being sprayed there. Troy somehow managed to hang on to third. Then a very audacious strategy started on the soft tires that had got him past a few, got him past a few cars at the beginning there, didn't it, for Troy? And I think that did help him get a podium in the end there, but he was very, very. He was, I got to say though, he was defending for all he's worth at the end of that one. My goodness gracious me. Let's take a look at the final results then for the race itself. And here in Austria, we've had a great sprint event tonight. Then. And incredible. So let's take a look at the final stages of the. Let's take a look at the final classification then. From the Austrian Grand Prix, Boxtel won the race and his 4th race win of the season. Then Kush second. What a great drive for Kush then. Unfortunately, we can't tell Troy at the moment. 3rd position is Troy. 4th position is German now. Game a great drive from 17th to 5th. Fantastic. Green in 6th position. Once again, carrying on his impressive run. Glock in 7th position. They're very unhappy with some driving standards up there today. Alhan in 8th position. Siege is in 9th. And Sweet completes the top 10. First time out of the points for Sonat in his 3rd race. KD in 12th position. I think great recovery in the end from KD. 13th was Percy. By the sounds of it, he did cross the line, but unfortunately, according to the game, then he didn't cross the line. Then, so that'll have to be investigated. Mr. Rage in 14th, Mumford in 15th, Knowles in 16th, Dylan in 17th. 18th position is Chaza, and Vesey in 19th position. And Milan is the only retirement then. So very impressive stuff indeed there for lack of retirements there as well. And in the end, it was Alhan and Gamer both shared the spoils with the drive of the day then. And Boxtel, a great win for you today. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff for you, and you extend your lead in the championship. But going back to the sprint race, then, where you and Purses were getting very close to Purser at turn 3 there. What did you make of that?
I personally, I think it's his own fault, because I just braked into the middle of the track and he went on the outside when he was not even alongside me. So I think that's on him. And then secondly, we touched when we went for the pit stop, but I went a bit too wide. But he just ran into the back of me. So I don't know how it happened, but I just couldn't do anything on both of those incidents. So, further than that, I just had a good race and extend my championship. But GG's to the top 3, and hopefully we can have another nice race in the next race.
I was good. That was me starting on the negative then. Now let's end on the positive, shall we? Yeah, you had a cracking race, and you went on the alternative strategy at the beginning of the race there when you went on the hard tires, and there was a couple of drives on the medium tire, in the end I did. I completely forgot about it, by the way, when I was commentating, because I was so enthralled in the race and I forgot you was on the hard tires, and I thought you were struggling for pace then. However, though, what an incredible drive there. Was you concerned now about the pace of Kush and Troy when he came on the pits on the medium tyres, because you had about a 5-second gap there, so you was going to have to really get a move on with just 10 laps to go.
Yeah, I knew my pace on the medium was pretty good, but with the hard tire I could hang on pretty decent, but so it was pretty easy for me to catch up because their tires were pretty old. So I had a lot of ERS left and a lot of top speed, so I just could close the gap really fast and make the passes at the right time.
And we are coming up to afternoons in the championship now as well. This is your 4th win of the season, and it is a long road season. I can't believe we're only at half distance at this stage there. But are you going to be changing your approach then with taking the lead in the championship and extending your lead in the championship, I should say?
Well, in this race I was already driving a bit more safe, but then still I get in contact with Percy. But I don't know how it's possible, but because I don't have it with the other drivers. But still I just try to take it a little bit more careful and try to get as much points in every race as possible.
And when you was fighting with Kush, he was not, no disrespect to Kush at the moment, but he's not a part of the championship battle, and he was starting alongside of you on row one as well then for the race itself. Was you a bit concerned about that with Kush? Might have come into this aiming for the race win whilst you was thinking more on line of the Drivers' Championship?
Yeah, of course, I was more looking at Troy and Percy, but yeah, I was a bit surprised from his pace, especially his race pace was really rapid, and because I couldn't hang on with him in the sprint race, so I was a bit also a bit looking after him, but yeah, still I managed to do it with the strategy and try to overtake him with the right amount of ERS I had left.
And he does a superb job. Well done today, Boxtel. Superb win. Your second
Thank you.
race win in a row as well. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then, and I think I'm not sure. Troy, are you in the Oda box here tonight?
Yes, sir.
Good stuff indeed. I had a message saying that you don't want to talk to me. But anyway, you got third today. Then you start on the soft tires, which me and Mushroom was debating whether that was a good, whether that was a good strategy or not, and we was also debating whether you'd be able to get to the end then. But to begin with, those soft tires very much elevated you up the order. Then, of course, as you was a bit further back after the issue in the sprint race. Talk about the sprint race first, then. Of course, as you spun on the last corner, was that a driver mistake there?
Yeah, man. I guess it was. I don't even know if I hit the curb or if I just went on throttle too quickly, to be honest. I went in with a setup I've never used before, and I've never tried it either in like Grand Prix mode or whatever, so I didn't really know what to expect. So when I first got pole, I was very surprised, and I wouldn't say I was expecting a spin, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was one because I didn't really feel the setup out too much before the race. So yeah, sprint was very disappointing, and the what do you call it, the feature race or whatever, was slightly disappointing. I think I did the best I could. I wasn't really planning on starting on softs, but I wasn't allowed to start on anything else by the game since I went for soft tire allocation. So I wasn't even allowed to go hard to softs for some reason. I had to start on softs. So considering strategy wasn't ideal, I'll take a third. And yeah, you never know. Both Jordi and Issa had collisions with two drivers, so they could get penalties. I don't know yet. So maybe something higher. I don't know yet. But I'm still happy with third, considering the strategy and everything.
Yeah, that's a bit rubbish. That is, if the game literally made you on starting hot soft tires, that's a bit rubbish. That is, because he was the only driver to start on softs as well, which kind of took us by surprise. But and towards the end, then I think I thought he was going to very much fall down the order then as well. But you had so much pace with such long time on those hard tires there. Pretty impressive stuff indeed then. But what did you like looking over your shoulder then when you started off at the back of Kush, and what did you thinking about? Like, oh gosh, where am I going to be at the end of this one?
Not really. I was actually quite focused on keeping up with the guys in front, just because you never know if they do get a penalty or something like that. I'm kind of I make the same mistake all the time where I let people almost go past me without a fight because I'm hoping for them to have saved up some ERS and kind of carry me forward in the race. But then every time I let them pass, I see their light flash as well, and I just know that we're both screwed from there. So I just knew it was a matter of time before Boxtel would catch up and join us in the train as well. And yeah, I even tried to defend from Boxtel, but I already had a tough time keeping up with Isa because I was on older hard tires as well. So I didn't have too much ERS to defend from him with either.
Really well done to both of you guys today. Fantastic stuff. And well done to Kush as well with a brilliant result to third, second as well. That's going to be it for tonight. Then Knowles is going to be giving you some pointers and going through silver tomorrow night. Of course, as we return to Spielberg.